Hello and welcome to Load Bearing Beams, the Summer of Rock. I'm Matt Stokes.
And I'm Laci Roth.
The Summer of Rock comes to a close now, Laci, but we are just filled to the brim with so many thoughts on the man. And
he's in his twilight, and I can't wait to follow him into the dark.
I wasn't expecting this to time with, him going to the Venice Film Festival and presenting his new persona.
There's that, but this seems like the culmination of all of our thoughts. We actually get to see the thing. It's like we've had all these thoughts this whole time, and we're doing this just at the right time to be like, okay, maybe he's gone to therapy a little.
I wanted to ask you this. Do you think we had anything to do with it?
Okay, I say it's Emily Blunt and then us.
Okay, that's fair. If he actually wins an Oscar, if he actually gets an Oscar nomination,
we called that shit.
It will be a nice documentary in real time, because he is, and we'll get into what he did this week. He so clearly wants that Oscar nomination. And the thing with when you're on the Oscar campaign trail is you got to tell a story. And he is beautifully telling the story.
You're being so cynical about this. I think he just really wants to be accepted as a serious actor. I don't take it as him campaigning.
I think they can both be true.
Sure,
well, you say he was not campaigning, but he's literally giving a press conference.
Well, I don't know how it works. I thought after you do a movie, you do conferences.
I mean, yeah, but you're bringing attention to the movie, but it's like, this is all.
Yeah, I mean, I could see in a way, the reason why he's going down the whole, I know I've been shitting out pure garbage from my anus for years and asking you to eat it up like happy little puppies. But I have put in the time in that way, in a way, if you think about it. So it does seem like he's kind of trying to package in all of his garbage with this one really highbrow serious work he's done. No, this this isn't my first time, because you have to count all these other times as 3 or 4 times. It's
very canny. That's that you use your biography, and if you're like, I know that you haven't approved of all my frivolous movies, my frivolous blockbusters, serious film people of the world. But what if I told you that that's all part of my story of transformation?
Believe him. Because we've been talking about the actor inside of him, and what I don't even know what episode it was. It was one ago or 2 ago. It was recent. And I said, I think he's reaching some kind of part in his life where he's already realized and followed some things to their ultimate end and realized maybe just capitalism isn't super fun. Who cares about the tequila? Who cares about the constantly being in the gym? All this stuff. If he can start to let go of his body and what he knows it to be and his need to rule the world, then he gets settled into acting. The whole aggravation with this whole thing for me is that you do not dabble in acting. When you dabble, you put out pure bullshit. When he's not being a dabbler and being a doer, he does pretty good.
Yeah, which we've said all summer long. I think that one of the big lessons is, and why I've enjoyed doing this series so much, is I wasn't expecting to see his acting style evolve, but you can trace him giving less of a or maybe it's not giving less of a shit, but it's I'm only going to play Dwayne Johnson in movies. So Hobbs, the character, now he's identical to me. He has cheat days and eats lots of pancakes and has a girl daughter, and he likes to wear a fanny pack, and so I don't want to have to do any work with the limited time I have here on set to get in character.
I am maximizing it should only take me 6 weeks to do what you need me to do in this film, and for the rest of it I'll just throw money at it and I'll see you in reshoots, because that's my thing. I reshoot everything. Look, I'm about to go to one of those conferences I tend to go to twice a year, and the experience of that, once you step into it, my brain is all there. I forget how to be a person outside of it. And the only other example I have is when I would do trial work for attorneys and stuff. It is an intense 2-week process, but when you're in it, it's hard to think about anything outside. It takes everything. So if those are my experience with those 2 low stakes things, then you give yourself a multi-million-dollar project where you're the fucking name. You're the reason people are coming to see it. I gotta think that needs to be your mentality. Mm-hmm. You can't just be like, I'll give you half my day, and then half my day I'm going over here. Can you imagine?
And then port it over to, okay, this isn't a big special effects driven blockbuster. This is an intimate drama where you're going to be in most every shot of the movie. And it is all going to be dependent on your body and face and the
Your
things
facial
coming out of
reaction.
your mouth.
Yep. The up close
The
tight
amount
shots.
of focus that would have to involve. I think maybe we need to walk everybody through if they're not following this with the intensity that we are.
Sorry.
So The Rock's done the thing that we said he needed to do, which is make a serious movie, do a serious dramatic role, work for a serious director. He is working for Benny Safdie. Benny Safdie is one half of the Safdie brothers who directed Good Time and Uncut Gems. He's also a great actor. He was in Oppenheimer. That's where he met Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt is the co-star of The Smashing Machine. And the three of them went to the Venice Film Festival this week, where basically Dwayne Johnson, who I follow on Instagram, so I've seen his new look and I've kind of noticed like, you got a lot of face wrinkles these days, Rock. But
no, he's just melting a little. That's
yes.
what happens.
So drops into the world and people are like, oh my God, you lost so much weight. It's insane. So once again, we come back to his body.
Yeah. And he knew people would be remarking on it.
Yeah. Which we are doing.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, you're known as a body. Mm-hmm. To be that tall, to be that big, to be that gregarious, to want people to look at you means we're just going to keep looking. I feel guilty because I'm instantly like, oh, you look your age.
I mean, I simultaneously feel guilty because he's a person, but he's also a billionaire and he wants to crush us under his boot. He's the enemy. And
okay. Well, I didn't know that.
But, I like him as a guy, so I hope he never hears the things I said about him and said the things about how even in Central Intelligence, there's all this stuff with him feeling like he's still a fat high schooler and that's what drives him. And it's just funny that now his big serious role involves a physical transformation.
They always do.
Usually for women more than men, but yeah, that's another thing that the awards love.
It's ego death though, right? Like they've got to be willing to let go of what it means to be celebrity, especially when some people can be a celebrity just because they are, like a Kardashian or a Paris Hilton. It's like, well, we need to strip something from you because we need to see something else. And we need to not see The Rock in front of us. And the best way to do that is to watch a transformation.
Let's read some of the comments he made at his press conference with Emily Blunt. And it was funny that we didn't even realize Emily Blunt's in the movie with him. And he multiple times referred to her at the conference as his best friend. And that she's the one who convinced him like, hey, you know how you have like lots of trauma from your childhood and all this pain? You can actually use that in acting. Okay.
Well, because we called an audible. We were just bored on the sofa and couldn't bear to confront Black Adam. So matches like Jungle Cruise, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And it has Emily Blunt in it. We did not do this on purpose, but what we saw was actual embers of chemistry.
Embers of chemistry. It's not. It's mostly on her part, but she's bringing things out of him that. But
she just seems like an insightful, loving, caring, empathetic person who can get behind a blocked off. I mean, she's got her shit which makes her drawn to this kind of a challenge. The way that she can also, you said, do it with Tom Cruise. So what we're seeing on the screen, I don't think it's possible to see it without it being kind of real. Or, for there to be like a closeness between them in real life that he can let his guard down on screen too. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's she's magic and she's movies, but I think she's just probably a really unique person, not just actress person. And he is saying it. And again, this could all just be, what is The Rock before anything else? A promoter. A wrestler. And wrestlers... Those two things are synonymous. Okay, but in wrestling, the mentality is everything's a work. You never believe anything. If you're seeing it, that means they want you to see it. Now, I think it can be simultaneously true that he couldn't get a blockbuster made anymore, so he had to make this move. Then he found out he likes it. Or just, it does. I don't actually care what's in his heart. I want to see the movie. I want to see how good he is. But he is telling a beautiful story to us about how all of this went down. A completely believable story. I think he had more agency there. He's always put on a face to make it seem as though he's got a lot of agency, but that's his character. He's in control. He's a winner. He definitely seemed coached by some kind of demonic marketing team with the words he would say, I'd buy it to think that he had package statements he had to deliver contractually. That would at least make the way he typed make more sense, the way he spoke in these unnatural corporate machine ways. Like, okay, is part of your deal that you have to talk like you're a member of our fucking executive board against your will, making you seem so soulless?
Yeah.
Like I guess that would be kind of brilliant. He's a very warm person. People skew to liking and being affectionate toward him. Kind of smart if they're like, look, you have to talk real nice about big business, daddy. Here you go. Make it sound like you. Okay, bye.
There was a profile of an interview with Elizabeth Holmes 2 years ago, right before she went to prison. And the very credulous reporter was just like totally won over by her. And she's like, listen, there's Liz, who's me, just a mom who has kids and like goes to yoga and stuff. And then there's Elizabeth.
She has kids.
Yeah, she has kids now. And the writer was like, I know I feel like a rube, but I also believe her. She's 100% sincere that she has regrets and, you know, looking forward to rebuilding her life. But the voice was an affect, and The Rock's voice, when he talks in his Instagram videos and stuff, it is an affect. So when he's giving the press conference at Venice with his glasses on, he's more soft-spoken.
The same glasses my stepdad Rick wears. He looks just like him. I can't get over it.
I don't see it at all.
I need a split shot. I'll send you a picture.
Yeah, your stepdad has a big hippie ponytail. Maybe that's why.
Superimpose that. He's got the same mouth, the same cheeks, the same smile lines, the same glasses, and the same tan. It's so weird.
So here's what he said about the movie The Smashing Machine, which is about MMA fighter Mark Kerr, whose story they tell in this movie. Quote, Mark was the greatest fighter in the world at one point, but this film is not even really about fighting. It's a love story. Johnson said, growing teary-eyed. I'm quoting from Variety's write-up.
Just like Rick, he cries at the top of a hat, guys.
That's true.
This man is Rick.
He does. It's a love story about Mark and Dawn in this relationship. Dawn is the Emily Blunt character. And it's a story about Mark and the love that he had for the thing that he did, his struggle with trying to deliver in the ring, his challenges and his overcoming. As you know, Mark OD'd twice, and he's lucky to be alive, and that's part of why this story is so special. I have for a long time wanted this. The three of us, Emily Blunt and Benny Safdie, have talked for a very long time about when you're in Hollywood, as we all know, it had become about box office, and you chase the box office, and the box office can be very loud, and it can become very resounding, and it can push you into a category and into a corner. This is your lane, and this is what you do, and this is what Hollywood wants you to do. I just had this burning desire and voice that was saying, what if there is more, and what if I can? A lot of times it's harder for us, or at least for me, to know what you're capable of when you've been pigeonholed into something. Sometimes it takes people that you love and respect, like Emily and Benny, to say that you can.
That sounds to me like a boy from a very young age being told that his value is in his size and in what he can deliver, and to try to keep up with the dad that he had. When you start that way, how can you believe you're allowed to do anything outside of what I think we've all had, like that toxic best friend or family member who thinks the only way to succeed is the way that they succeeded. And like, they just have a way of making you feel really weird to bring up, or like you're being unfaithful to them, or that you're a fool if you bring up anything outside of what worked for them. But if that's the major voice in his head, and who knows how many of those he had, because he would have been drawn to them, you know, as he went, he built his own very, very strong echo chamber. And it takes someone special and nosy like Emily Blunt to be like, you know.
Oh, you know that you could try acting for
when you
real.
were pretending that you were 400 years old, and it was quite believable. Just saying.
Johnson continued, quote, I looked around a few years ago and I started to think, you know, am I living my dream or am I living other people's dreams? You come to that recognition and I think you can either fall in line, well, it's status quo, things are good, I don't want to rock the boat, or go, I want to live my dreams now and do what I want to do and tap into the stuff that I want to tap into and have a place finally to put all this stuff that I've experienced in the past that I've shied away from. I've been scared to go deep and intense and raw until now, until I had this opportunity.
And we knew he was scared, because you do have, it's just a type of therapy to really get into this stuff. And it can be the opposite of therapy too, probably. We've seen it drive people mad. You have to be strong and around people who give you strength to probably dive into this.
And it's been in quotes we've read from him over the course of this miniseries,
yes,
comparing himself to his acting friends. And
yes, right. Almost like scoffing at it when really you can tell that there's a tinge of jealousy there, when there's fear there. It's easy to act above it when why even bring it up? This is why I'm saying there's no dabbling in acting. And he was cocky to think there was.
And maybe even the resentment of Vin Diesel for being so high-minded about acting, the art of acting.
Getting to focus on what he wants to focus on. And that being part of his persona, where The Rock's persona was already made for him, and it's a risk for him to step outside. That's what he's talking about. People are relying on me. This is successful. Why? Don't be Michael Jordan and swerve into baseball and be so wrong. You were already Michael Jordan. It is a huge risk. The larger you are, the better you are at a thing, the harder it is to do another thing and not accidentally give yourself a horrible end of your career. Mm-hmm. Or an embarrassing chapter whatever. It makes you more human though.
You might get owned. You might get embarrassed. You might be sincere. Therefore you have to, it's why like everybody embraces the, let's just call it the soy persona of acting slightly above and self-aware of everything versus being sincere and leaving yourself open to vulnerability.
There's something interesting about directions we're allowed to transition. I feel like we're a little more accepting of people who start in something that's not acting and then move to acting, models to acting, singing to acting, wrestling to acting. But when you start in acting and branch out, it starts to feel a little selfish. Like maybe that's a harder transition. And maybe it's because if you're an actor and you start there, there's not a reputation to lose. You've already eaten so much shit and you already are a bunch of different things. You've already tried a lot. You've already embarrassed yourself and then done really well. I think like the path of an actor is to have highs and lows. That is expected. In fact, like horrible lows like a Nicolas Cage are just like all the better to praise you in, my sir, when you rise to your, we love that kind of like comeback where singing comebacks are way more rare because you really don't get to come back. You just phase out. And I don't know. I'm thinking of Vin Diesel. He just was an actor who also sang. There's no risk there. He can just be whatever the fuck he wants to be because he's already this weird actor. I could see being really jealous of that when maybe wrestling wasn't what you had your heart set on to begin with. And that's evident in the fact that he went to football trying to not do that.
Yes. That's like the whole story of his career is I wanted to be in football. Fuck. I ended up in the first I go to school at Miami as a promising prospect, but I sit on the bench behind legit future NFL Hall of Famers.
Just stroke of luck, dude. Yes. Sorry. Any other year.
And so I ride the bench at Miami. If I were born 30 years later, I could easily have transferred to another school, which is what kids do all the time. Now, college athletes are changing schools every year. They have more control over their careers. But so now there's no tape on me, so I have to go to the Canadian Football League. I get cut. So fuck, I guess I'm going to have to go into my dad's business, which I didn't want to go into.
Whoa, is this autobiographical with the Tooth Fairy story?
And then they present me as a character, the first third generation wrestler.
And I'm completely Samoan. Now I'm tapped into that. Look what they got me wearing because I'm always going to be this brown person to them. Or at least that's how it's going to start. I've got to be a gimmick.
All right. So that's not working fine. I'm going to embrace the brownness because he joins the Black Power heel stable, the Nation of Domination, and he is electric.
At least there's power in that. Right. Mm-hmm. But when you put the face paint and you're barely wearing any clothes, it's like they're fetishizing you when you're tapping into the Samoan part.
And wrestling, that is all wrestling, is the fetishization of other cultures.
For sure.
It's funny because the Nation, what happened is once he joins the Nation, they stop being so serious. The storyline is that he takes over and their old leader is like, they're very funny. Watch their promos together. Who's like a militant, like Malcolm X figure, and The Rock coming in as a little funnier and now so much more egotistical.
A little twerp.
Just watch the clip of him giving presents to the other members of the Nation. He gives everyone a gold Rolex, but then he gives Farouk, the leader, he gives him a big painting of himself, of The Rock.
Oh, big, okay.
Anyway, so yeah.
See, The Rock gets ego. Like he just innately understands how to bust the balls of the person who thinks they're in charge. Everything seems to be just a way of him trying to get back at his dad, failing, then succeeding, failing, then succeeding.
So he has his big superstar run in wrestling, then goes into Hollywood and does movies. We like some of his early movies, but he is not the breakout movie star that people expected him to be. He makes family movies and stuff. Goes back to wrestling, but he feels there like I'm torn between I cannot give this my focus. I'm not doing a great job.
How interesting. How interesting that something should have your focus.
Dwayne. People in the crowd are literally chanting Tooth Fairy at me. And then okay, fuck, I'll be a supporting character in the Fast and the Furious movies. That rejuvenates his career.
You know what he needed? He needed capital. And so I get why you're trying to, what's the word I'm using? When you don't put your eggs all in one basket, maybe the tequila was a good source of income. I'm wondering if he was trying to get to a financial place where he's not letting down the people he's supporting, but can afford to fail, right? Like blockbuster, bank it. But, he's in his 50s now and like his body is getting destroyed.
Maybe. I don't know.
I just went off on a rabbit trail in accident.
Well, it's like George Clooney said that I think Arnold Schwarzenegger told him, you have to make your money outside of acting so that you can just do the stuff you want to do.
That is exactly what I'm saying. And I think it probably just took him much longer than he thought it would to get to where he felt comfortable making that leap.
Tequila started the whole tequila thing. He sold his company Casamigos and made billions of dollars, whereas The Rock still owns Terramana Tequila. But what The Rock was doing was more akin to, so I'm reading this great book, Derivative Media by Andrew Duard. It has this chapter on rap music and the commodification of rap music. And it's like, mentioning products has always been a part of music and specifically rap music. But when rappers like Jay-Z learned like, well, if I get an endorsement deal with this liquor company or this clothing company, and then I use their name in my songs, it's like a mutually reinforcing profit thing. And then, I'm in charge of a record label. I can have all the artists who are under me use that name of that liquor label or whatever in their songs. Oh, and it's even better than when I make the deal with the liquor company, when I own the liquor company. So it's like these. I think The Rock was doing the same thing. Like, well, like Terramana Tequila will be in my movies and my shows and stuff.
I just think these are insecure people. A lot of us are, and they're all just looking for security. And usually where you find it is in money. So it's like, it's easy to like, look, just you're greedy. You just want it all. You just whatever. Maybe it was just harder for him to get in the first place. And maybe what he got didn't feel good. And maybe he felt like the way I do sometimes with having bought a big house. I got the thing I wanted, but now I'm running to keep up with it. So like, once you get famous for being the biggest man, the strongest man, you can't get hurt. You can't get smaller. You have to keep injecting yourself with fucking poison. I'm sure he was trying to get out of that cycle.
Well, we know for a fact that like the endless pursuit of capital accumulation will rot your soul. It will leave you empty and hollow. So it's not,
because if you're chasing safety, you will eventually find out that that's not where it is. And I think what he actually found was Emily Blunt. I think he actually found safety in like just talking about unpacking. He needed therapy this whole time, and she might have served as that. We don't know that he didn't have therapy.
Right. I therapy can come in many forms, and I think therapy is often useless. I think therapy is often bad. Harms the person doing it because they don't do the therapy right.
Right. You got to do it because you want. It's your choice to do it. Yeah.
Steven Spielberg said that he doesn't go to therapy because he makes movies. And it could literally be like, well, art can be therapy itself. Acting can be therapy.
Sure. And he probably just needed proof that someone he looks up to, that someone he thinks is a great person, can think he's cool and a valuable person if he changes. He maybe just never had that, especially when you take into the consideration that his partner and ex-wife had that blurry line of like, you need to do good so that I do good. Like, that's not a real wife role. I mean, like, she probably didn't give him that place where he could make a mistake, or I don't know. But like, when you're Emily Blunt's wealth isn't tied to The Rock, but that's not true of most of the people he's probably called his support system along the way. It's always been blurry. He's the support. So they have more stakes of saying, yeah, try something new. Don't suck at it.
He's the head of this giant enterprise, all of it dependent on him. But if you think like Laci and I are sounding too credulous, I mean, that's fine. Like all of this could be totally insincere. And my stance is always like, I don't care that much what's in somebody's heart. I care about what they're doing. And if the movie's good, then I don't care that he did it for cynical reasons. Also that it can simultaneously be he was forced to make this move, but also he's sincere about it. Because his whole career is he has been forced to make moves that sometimes worked out and sometimes didn't.
There are a lot of people in this world who feel like they're constantly being led, and the quote unquote force, like that doesn't work on everybody. Not everybody perceives everything around them as something that's backing them into a corner, leading them down a path. But his psychology is that. So that could be very true for him.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's what's actually happening.
Johnson referred to Emily Blunt as his best friend multiple times. And then, quote, from the time we worked on Jungle Cruise together, she really encouraged me and said, there's a place you can put all the stuff you've gone through as a kid. And that place is what you love to do, which is acting.
And call Laci. I fucking saw this a mile away. Blunt.
So the Hollywood Reporter, in its write-up of the press conference, said, quote, Emily Blunt stars as Mark Kerr's wife, Dawn Staples, bringing new emotional layers to the chemistry she established with Johnson in the tentpole Disney movie Jungle Cruise. Blunt is close friends with the action actor in real life and reportedly played a pivotal role in bringing the Smashing Machines director and star together after meeting and connecting with Safdie on the set of Oppenheimer, in which they co-starred. I hadn't even put together that they were both in Oppenheimer. Benny Safdie's so great in Oppenheimer.
You hear that, Vin? It's not really you championing The Rock.
So
it's Aunt Emily. Auntie M.
There's only one aunt in this Dwayne house.
And she sells pretzels. Antonium. I think that's a pretzel company.
So Smashing Machine debuted at Venice. It got a 15-minute standing ovation, brought The Rock to tears. That's awesome. Now, among these like prestige film festivals, ovation time is like a nuclear arms race.
I know, because this fucking asshole segment that you had me watch, I was really impressed with 15. And then the very end of it is, and this guy got 40 minutes. Okay, bye.
I know. It's like rude if you don't give him at least 10.
What
the reviews from I've been reading some of the reviews. They're all very impressed. It's going to be very hard to get an Oscar nomination. That's a competitive year this year. You got Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. I think he's a lock.
Matt, I really think you're overestimating how much this part of it is what he needs. I think he just wanted people to not laugh at him. I think people wanted...
I hope so.
Just let that be what's real. Look at him. He's real.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love for him to just be a serious actor. You mentioned Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage has been doing interesting and serious work mixed in with some, straight to video crap, but doing cool things too. Not chasing an Oscar, but kind of out of the hell of owing the IRS hundreds of millions of dollars. Just do cool, interesting stuff and be in small movies. It'd be great. And use your star power to get small movies made is the best thing you can do.
Use your freaking tour de force-ness for good. You are a marketing machine. You can make people believe in things. Make them remember how good small stuff is again.
We did the Summer of Spielberg last year. And if you remember, it was a recurring theme with Spielberg too, of always being pulled in a million different directions. With him, it was like he just had a lot of whims and it's like, oh, I think I'd like to do an animation show.
But also the same issue of being still for too long probably drove him in.
Yeah.
If that is the case, if you can't be with yourself when things are still, there's some stuff. There's a reason why really productive people are all real fucked up.
And maybe if you want to compare the two, because I think like the ideal version of who The Rock wanted to be was a Steven Spielberg. I mean, obviously he's not a director, but Steven Spielberg gets to be a creative genius, but also a media mogul.
And also has a brilliant way of playing to the lowest common denominator. Like, I mean, he's a perfect comparison to The Rock in that he just happens to be amazing at making things that are palatable for lots of people really fucking fun. But he's not artsy, really. He's not like courageous necessarily. He gets what makes the most people happy.
But he did want to, he knew early in his career, the first half of his career, he was like, I know how to like
tweak.
Be populist. I know how to make things that are popular. I want the acclaim, though. I want the critical love. And he didn't get it until Schindler's List. And after that, that seemed to free him up to like, I can now do whatever I want.
Right. Something got unlocked once he was allowed to switch his lane. That's a big God. Striving for success, finding it, and then being terrified to stop doing every single thing you're doing. Like before a baseball game, wear my old sock, pat my cat on the head, then do 3 turns. Like this is what got me a successful game. I must do this every single time. That kind of fear, that's a certain person's brain chemistry. And they get locked in and they just look like machines. And then that machine realizes they could be man, and then beautiful things happen. Just hope that they get there. I think that they are just rare and that they made enough good stuff to get them to their second lane. What am I trying to say? Their second act.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe he's full of shit. Maybe he's not. I hope he's not.
I just keep revving up to see if you won't leave us on that note. I think you're worried that we're going to look like chumps.
Yes,
I don't care that I'm buying this. I believe Emily Blunt. I don't think she's a media mogul asshole.
What do we know about? We don't know
Emily anything
Blunt.
about her. I know she's delightful.
No, we don't know these people.
Her dress is amazing. Looks like a pencil case attached to a dress.
We don't know these people, but you're right. Yeah, I shouldn't have to like hedge everything and like, well, then I could be wrong and don't make fun of me if I am.
We're commenting. You know what? We're commenting
I'm saying
on
right
shit.
now he's going to get an Oscar nomination, and it will be thanks to Laci and I.
And I'm saying right now it won't matter to him, and it doesn't matter to us that he gets a nomination or anything. I think he's still going to keep doing this and being best friends / lovers with Emily Blunt. Or maybe she's the first person he ever told he's asexual to, and that's why his wife's cool with this relationship.
Allegedly in a video game. So
Minecraft asexuality.
But it would be cool if he got an Oscar nomination because there was.
You just want him to live your dream. That's all we're getting down to.
I want to win an Oscar.
You're upset. You're upset that he spent all those damn energy and took the right move, and he's not going to be rewarded. That's all Matt's fucking saying. I really hope The Rock isn't super pissed.
Really, it's me. No, No, I just, but the Oscars, the reason the Oscars are good is because they make people make these decisions. If awards didn't exist, we might never get serious movies.
So just like with the Miami college moment, he can't help that he came on to the Oscar scene as when did Sinners. Like Sinners is just like a mind-blowing, so I hope nomination is good enough. That's what we're saying. Nomination.
Yes, DiCaprio is in the Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I think I don't know who else is like. It's very early. It's very early.
It's touch and go.
Yes. But I would have said like up until a month ago, if you say which of the 3 big actors who are wrestlers right now, of him, Cena, and Batista, who's most likely to get an Oscar nomination, I'd say Batista by a mile.
Cena by a wish I had seen it coming.
I'd put Cena second and The Rock in a distant third, and then like no, I think it's actually. I haven't even seen the movie, but
what are you basing Batista's first on?
Because he's by far the most interesting of those 3 actors.
Yeah, but like his whole thing is that he's weird and interesting.
Yeah,
I feel like the Oscars award deviation and like evolution and like novelty.
You're right. Yeah, that's that.
You just come out weird rock. He literally looks like a weird rock, to be fair.
That's a good point, Laci. Yeah, you're right. All right. I guess let's
we end it here. The episode's over. Laci's right.
Let's go ahead and rank the 9 movies we talked about.
Oh,
this
piss,
summer.
fuck, poop. Okay, got it.
Bottom to first. Do you want to think about it or what?
This is all we did?
Yeah.
You're going to be shocked at my bottom.
What's your bottom?
Wait, no, go ahead.
Okay, number 9, Hobbs and Shaw. Take 5 escalators up and you get to number 8, Tooth Fairy. Take 7 escalators up and you get to number 7, Baywatch, which everything after this, maybe even Baywatch, I kind of like. Number 6, Jungle Cruise. Number 5, The Scorpion King. Number 4, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Number 3, The Rundown. Number 2, Fast 5. Number 1, Pain and Gain.
Okay. I'm figuring you a divorce. Scorpion King, number 9.
What? Worse than Hobbs and Shaw? You gave it 3 stars on our episode.
Because I was
makes
being
no
nice.
sense.
I thought this was going to be him at his best. I didn't want to start off bad. It's boring. I can't even tell you what happened in it. I remember being like underwhelmed to the nth degree. Okay, do it. All right, then Hobbs and Shaw. then the Tooth
insane.
Fairy.
That's so stupid.
Hey, at least there's Jason Statham in Hobbs and Shaw, and I also like the blonde. I like things in that movie. I just don't like the movie. In The Scorpion King, I can't remember any of it. That's not. I also like when things are bad. That's why Tooth Fairy's third.
Scorpion
It's so
King,
bad.
your pants might be a little tight around the balls.
I will always remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It's fine.
I like things to make me feel things, Matt. Okay, then
Number 6.
Baywatch.
Okay.
Fuck. Damn it. Then Jungle Cruise, Fast Five, Jumanji, Pain and Gain. I think.
Where's the rundown?
Shit. Rundown second for sure.
Okay, so
after that, I think Jumanji, then Fast Five, then Jungle Cruise.
Okay, so it looks like
Jungle Cruise I'd like a lot, but I think Fast Five is probably ultimately a better movie.
Okay, so it seems like Lacey's number 1 is Pain and Gain, number 2 is The Rundown, 3 is Jumanji, 4 is Fast Five, 5 Jungle Cruise, 6 Baywatch, 7 Tooth Fairy, 8 Hobbs and Shaw, 9 Scorpion King. Okay.
I feel bad about it, but I wanted a hot take in there.
That is hot.
It's hot.
I was not expecting that. I'm singed.